Hey guys, it's Ashley, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you all of the things that I read/consumed in November. Because I didn't read as much as I had anticipated in November, despite the vast number of new releases coming out, I spent a lot of my time consuming anime. And I finished quite a few shows, so I figured since I don't have a lot to talk about reading-wise, I would just add in like everything that I watched/consumed this month. I don't know, we'll see how this goes. Before we get started, I do want to give a huge thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. I've had an ongoing partnership with Book of the Month for a couple months now, so I'm sure you guys have probably already heard about them, but in case you haven't, Book of the Month is a super popular and fast-growing online book service for readers, and their mission is to help promote new and emerging authors to help readers find new books that they love. Each month, their team goes out and vets hundreds of books to give their readers a curated selection of new and early release titles that they can choose from. My personal favorite part about Book of the Month is that they're risk-free, meaning if you don't see a book that you want to pick that month, you can skip free of charge and wait for the next one. Plus, they have the best price for new release hardcover fiction. This month, Book of the Month is actually running a special, so for the month of December, if you use the code JOLLY, you can actually get your first book for just $5. And this month's selection is honestly a pretty interesting group of books, so I'm excited to share them with you. So first up, we have Somebody's Daughter, a memoir by Ashley C. Ford. This is a powerful memoir about a childhood defined by the looming absence of her incarcerated father. Then we have Olga Dies Dreaming by Xochitl Gonzalez. This one is a bit of a long summary, so I'm gonna actually read it from the paper, so I'm sorry, I'm gonna look down a little bit. This is a debut story following a status-driven wedding planner grappling with her social ambitions, absent mother, and Puerto Rican roots, all in the wake of Hurricane Maria. And this is also an early release. This doesn't actually come out until January. Then we have a story that I would probably choose this month because I really like happy, uplifting stories during the holidays, especially one that is holiday themed. So this next one is called The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. This is a feel-good holiday rom-com about identical twins who swap lives 12 days before Christmas. Then we have A History of Wild Places by Shay Earnshaw. This is an atmospheric novel following 3 residents of a secluded, seemingly peaceful commune who investigate the disappearance of 2 outsiders. And finally, we have A Flicker in the Dark by Stacey Willingham. This is a thriller in which teenage girls begin to go missing, and our main character Chloe begins to wonder if her past is coming back to haunt her. And in addition to the 5 books Book of the Month is chosen for December, they also sent me one of their add-ons, which is The Anthropocene Reviewed by John Green. I cannot say this for the life of me, I'm sorry. This is a collection of personal essays by John Green about a human-centered planet, basically just about the world itself. So those are all of the choices for December, and remember you can use the code JOLLY to get your first book for just $5. I'll have a link in the description down below where you can head to the website and check it all out. And thank you again to Book of the Month for sponsoring today's video. Now let's talk about all of the books I didn't read and all of the anime I watched instead. Is that sad? I think that's sad. So essentially, the one book that I ended up reading for November was actually one that I hadn't even planned on reading, but a couple videos ago, I can't remember which one it was, I asked you guys for audiobook reviews, because I have a bit of a drive to work now, and so I was looking for something to listen to in the mornings or on the way home that would not just be me listening to BTS all the time, which like is totally fine, like love BTS, but like sometimes I just want to feel productive while I'm driving like 30 minutes to get to work and 30 minutes to come home. So like as much as I love BTS, they're not always productive for me. So I wanted to try listening to an audiobook, you know, get a little reading done on my commute in the mornings. It's not really a very long commute, but it's longer than I've driven for any job that I've had previously, so I consider it a commute. So the book that I ended up reading, well technically rereading, was This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab. But if you don't know anything about this book, it's essentially like a monster versus human story. So we follow Kate, who's a human, and we follow August, who is technically a monster. And in this dystopian world, basically violence breeds monsters. So depending on the level of violence that is inflicted, that will end up producing an actual physical monster of a different caliber. So Kate is part of a well-known infamous family. Her father is like you could say like monster hunter, but like there's other things that are going on. And then August is technically on the other side of the line. He's part of a different family, but he's also a monster that nobody really knows about. So basically their lives end up coming together, and I just love this book so much. Like I can't explain, and I honestly really liked the audiobook too. I was really hoping, because it's a dual perspective story, that we were gonna get 2 different like audiobook narrators, but it was just one woman the whole time. She actually did a really good job of both Kate and August's side. I loved loved the way that she narrated August's parts. I don't know why, I just really love them. So yeah, the audiobook itself was good, but also I forgot like 90% of what happened in that story, and it is just, I love that book so much. I think another part of it for me that I find I enjoy over other books is that there's really no romance involved. Like, you read it and you're listening to the story, and I honestly forgot that there wasn't a romance because the way that they interact and the things that they do, like, it feels like a romance is brewing, but by the end they're just like really good friends the whole time. Like, it just stays like this sort of level of friendship that, you know, you wanted out of the relationship. At times it feels like it's gonna go further, but it doesn't, and it's just like, I think that's one of the things that I really like about this story, because as much as I love romance, like, y'all know I love romance, and as much as I love romance and fantasy, sometimes this is just refreshing to like not see it. This is basically the point that I stopped at years ago when I was reading this series for the first time. I read the first book, never made it to the second book, and the reason that I've never made it to the second book, and probably am not going to pick it up anytime soon now, is because I know that the second book has something devastating that happens. I can picture in my head what happens, I can assume what happens, and because of that assumption, I refuse to pick up the book. I refuse to be hurt in that way. So that's gonna stay on my shelf for a little while longer, and I'm going to procrastinate reading it by watching some anime. So let's talk about that, shall we? Because between my denial for getting into Our Dark Duet and my putting off reading any other book that would possibly make me and my channel more productive, I've been watching anime in my free time, which is not bad. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I've watched some shows that I absolutely adore and can't wait to tell you about. But like, that's not what my channel is about, so sorry. If you don't like anime, feel free to click off now, because essentially that was the only book that I read this month, so that was pretty much all I had to talk about. But if you do like anime and you like TV and you want to know more, keep watching. In case you didn't watch my last video, which I think I also talked about some of the shows that I've been watching, basically the reason that I started watching anime was because my brother really got into it over quarantine when COVID first happened in 2020. None of his friends really watched it, and so he really just wanted somebody to talk to about it, and that involved getting me roped into it, because essentially I am the person who for years has been reading books and none of my family reads those books, and I want somebody to talk to about it, and yet nobody will. So I'm assuming that he just thought, hey, Ashley's this kind of person who would get suckered into doing this for me. I'm just gonna get her to do it. And here we are. Like I said in what might have been my October wrap-up, I did end up watching all of Haiku, and this month I did finish Attack on Titan, which I really liked but also really disliked. Kind of have mixed feelings about the 4th season at that point, but very eager to find out what is going to happen in the next part of the season, which may or may not be the end of the show. I can't remember what he told me because I don't actually keep up with this stuff. I just, you know, I go, Cody, I'm done with that show. What do you want me to watch next? And he goes, oh, here's 6 more. And I go, okay, time to, you know, forget that I have any priorities and put all of my time and effort into this. So yeah, I really liked both of those shows. And then after I watched them, because Haiku was like, you know, feel-good volleyball sports anime, and then Attack on Titan was like very action-packed, confusing, plot-twisted, like sort of fantasy anime, I wanted something that was just like easygoing, you know, something cute, maybe like a nice romance or something. So he gave me some recommendations, and I said screw it to all of them because I had seen so many people talk about Fruits Basket. So many people. So many people love that show and absolutely adore it, and I was like, you know what? This seems like the kind of thing that I want to get into now. You know, this seems like what I'm looking for. Why not just start this and see what all the hype is about? And oh my god, was I horribly wrong about what I thought that show was about. Oh my god, I thought that I was getting into, like I said, a cute, romancy story. Maybe there was a love triangle involved, you know, maybe it had a little bit of like fantasy to it, but it was like super cute and like, you know, romancy, and like, yes, there were those moments, but also like, it was not what I thought it was going to be at all. If this helps describe the show, I think I cried like 6 times just in the first season. No, all joking aside, I absolutely loved that show so much. And also, I'm so happy with the way that it ended too. Just want to put that out there. So happy. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but like so happy. But yeah, I did not have any expectations going into the show. Clearly, all of the expectations I did have were completely wrong. It was just as like romancy as I was hoping for, but it was also super dark at times. Like, there were times when it would be like, you know, happy, woo, everything's nice, and then all of a sudden it would be like some but he's like emotionally and, you know, mentally abusing somebody else, and it was just like so toxic. And I'm like, what is actually happening right now? So yeah, that was quite a different turn than what I thought it was going to be. So definitely, like, you know, content warnings if you think that you're going into, you know, a really nice show. It is nice at times, most of the time, and then you just kind of get hit with something that you weren't expecting and you start sobbing, and there's that. But like I said, I really liked the way that the show ended, even though like the second, third to last episode really just like threw me for a loop. I was just like, what the actual hell is going on here? But yeah, I love the show. Super cute and super dark, but super cute, and I'm here for it. And if you've also watched the show, let me know what your thoughts were, because all I had heard from absolutely everybody was that it was great, I love it so much, and then I go into it and it's like totally different than what I thought. But maybe that's just on me for not doing enough research. Who knows? It wouldn't be the first time. So then after that, because I was, you know, hoping for something and, you know, got only part of it, I actually wanted an actual romance. So I listened to my brother's recommendation and I watched Horimiya. This is just one single season. It's like 10, 12, 13 episodes, something like that. And it was everything that I wanted and more. It was the most adorable show that I think I've ever watched. So cute. The romance, like, everything about it I absolutely loved, except for the part where Miyamura cut his hair. I could have done without that. I've got nothing else to say. Yeah, if you're looking for something cute that will make you smile, watch it. There may or may not be a season 2 coming. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure. I didn't think that there was, but then this morning my brother was like, did you know that there's a season 2 of Horimiya coming? And I'm like, why? It just ended on like a good note, so like, I don't know, but I wouldn't be mad if there was a second season. So there's that. And then to wrap all of this up, the one that I'm currently in the middle of right now, because again, my brother's recommendation, is Code Geass. Knew nothing about this show other than that he made me watch the first episode with him so he could gauge my reaction. Very, very, very confusing in the beginning. I was super thrown off guard and very like, what the heck is happening, Cody? But then once I started getting into it, it was like the 5th, 6th episode, I was finally like, okay, I think I understand what's going on now. Which is surprising because I read so much fantasy and I just like get it, it clicks that fast, and then I watch a, you know, fantasy show and I'm just like, yeah, I like it so far. I finished season 1 and I haven't started season 2 yet, and he keeps bugging me that he wants me to watch season 2, and I'm like, I can't, Cody, because Money Heist, the last part of the season just came out, and the Hawkeye show is out and I need to watch that, and season 2 of The Great is out and I need to watch that. There's so many different things that are happening that I need to watch, and I can't just watch season 2 of Code Geass now, so there's a lot going on. Yeah, and speaking of Money Heist, I watched all of that. I've talked about Money Heist on my channel before. I absolutely adore that show. It is so good. It's basically just about like heists happening in Spain, so the whole show is in Spanish, and it is great and wonderful, and the actors are perfect, and everything about the show is action-packed, and it makes your heart stop when you're watching it, and so many things happen, and so many things like that you want to happen don't happen, and it's like, it's crazy. It's a crazy show, especially the last season. It's so worth it. You have to watch the entire thing. Like, the heists just get crazier and crazier to the point where like you don't think that they're gonna be able to do what they need to do, and then somehow it ends up working and you're just like, what? Definitely watch it if you haven't already. So good. The whole show is out, the whole show is over, so you won't have to wait in anticipation like I did. Definitely should have waited to watch the show until now, but here we are. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all the things that I consumed in November. Didn't read many books, but darn if I don't have a lot of opinions on anime. If you guys have any recommendations for shows, since apparently I'm not reading many books at the moment, definitely let me know. I'm obviously open to pretty much anything at this point. It's just a matter of when I can get around to it, so I would love to know your thoughts. But I think that's pretty much it for this video. To be honest, you guys, I'm sorry that I haven't uploaded a whole lot recently. With taking on a new job that is now full-time, it's definitely occupied a lot of my free time, and in my off days, all I want to do is sleep, and so I haven't had a whole lot of motivation or energy, or basically just time in general, to film or do anything like this. And in addition, because I'm not reading as much, I don't know what content to make. So because of all of that, I think I just need to take like a bit of a break, to be honest. So I don't know when the next time that I will upload a video will be, already. I wanted to make this one just to like round out the year and to at least put something up in December. But otherwise, if you want to continue to follow me and see what I'm up to and see what I'm doing, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I'm honestly not super active on there either, but I'm going to try to be more active there because I feel like it's more of an immediate thing than YouTube is. YouTube just takes up so much time and energy, and I love making these videos, but like I just need a bit of a break. So yeah, if you want to keep up with me, follow me on Instagram. My handle's in the description. But I hope that everybody has a wonderful and happy and healthy and safe holiday season, whatever holiday you celebrate, and a wonderful new year, and I hope to see you sometime again in the future. So I think that's gonna be it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye!